Yeah, Josh runs, for those that don't know, Josh runs the TAM. Tragically seems to have been shut down. But while it was up, like, I gained so much respect for you, man, just tanking through that every week. That place is brutal.
That place was built to put hair in your chest.
Yeah, dude.
Comic. All right, that was not... That was... I don't know. Is just going to be a mock funeral for the TAM or something like that? It's just going to turn into that?
It should be, yeah.
It could be,
just telling TAM stories?
We should just go back there and have a candlelight vigil for the...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, mics like that make you... The longer you do comedy, the more you appreciate mics like that, because then when you do a real show, you realize that, like, oh, the material that I had to make work in a nightmare room like the TAM is now so much sharper as a result of that environment. So, like, it really does make you a better comic.
And just giving you, like, the stage legs of, like, okay, let me just, like, have fun bombing.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of crumbling and just be like, well, this sucks. Because, like, most open mics, it's just you in an empty room, an empty dead room that's only comedians who don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you're at a bar like that, you're like, all right, it's so bad and so chaotic, I might as well just have fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's nothing fun about all comic open mics.
Yeah.
Your sound only travels 2 feet to the table right in front of you, and that was it there.
Just a wall of sound.
What was I guess they were just hemorrhaging money, which is why they stopped doing it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they were paying me $100 a week to walk, probably $1,000 a week.
That's so insane.
That's like it had to be like an $1,100 loss every single week.
Yeah.
It was fucking insane.
So many people would leave.
I
but really then we had all the regulars, though. That was fun.
A lot of regulars.
Yeah.
We had Sarah Silverman.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, Sarah Silverman. Yeah, as much money as the bar staff was probably losing, they didn't seem to mind ever. They
clearly
seemed
did
happy.
Not give a shit.
Yeah, they were enjoying
they didn't fucking care.
I mean, that real estate itself is worth enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter how well the bar does, I think.
That's
it's
true.
certainly nice to do well, probably, but...
That's a great point. Yeah, right in the middle of Boston.
Like on Tremont Street, like...
Right,
whatever company owns that place is making money just letting it sit.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been there for, like, so long, too, hasn't
Dude, there
it?
would be roaches, like, on the floor and climbing up the walls during the mic. It was fucking... like...
It reminded me of, like, back, like, going to shitty, like, nightclubs when you were, like, 21. Like, anytime you walked in there, the floors immediately were just sticking to your shoes and shit.
Yeah, it's like a frat house.
Yeah, exactly.
Those places are so different with the lights on.
Yeah.
Like my college bars, like I had like, because I ran like the Barstool stuff for LSU, and like I would go to like Fred's because I had like a black card and I like knew the owners and stuff. I would like, you know, sometimes we'd do like events and stuff like that. So I'd go in there when it was empty before like the lights were off and like before the people were in there, and I was like, oh, this is a shithole. This is, like, this is my favorite place in the world at 1 in the morning, but 7:30 on a Thursday, I don't want to be here. Right?
Yeah, I remember my dad came to visit me at college one year, and I was like, "Oh, I'll show you my apartment." And he was like, "I don't want to see it." Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Is that
we
back?
have fun.
Yeah, the same thing happened to Phil last week. Whatever. Yeah, he was like, "I don't need to see how you're living in squalor. I'm sure it's disgusting."
I also say that as like someone who's like a straight up hippie and like.
Yeah.
has literally lived like a starving artist for like 5 or 6 years. Where like everything is kind of life and death in my life. Like,
yeah.
Anytime there's a Grateful Dead show, Josh will put his life on the line to get there, dude.
Literally doing it this week. Next week.
You ever had a near-death experience at a Grateful Dead show?
He's probably had an ego death at a Grateful Dead show.
I was gonna say, like, if you've been to enough Grateful Dead shows, you're gonna overdose at some point on something.
I mean, I cracked my head open in New York this summer.
No shit, how'd that happen?
Nitrous.
Nitrous?
Yeah, I fished out. Just woke up like
never done
a pool of blood around me, but like a bunch of people standing over me. Yeah, I mean, I got 5 stitches, and it was. You don't want to know how much those hospital bills were. Or still are, because I'm paying off. I'm on a plan because they were that expensive. So yeah, that shit sucks. Yeah, I mean, that, you know, I got a good story too. One time, like the first time I like went on tour, like 2019 fall.
Mm-hmm.
So I was supposed to go to just Halloween, and then a couple days later in Nassau, and I went to Halloween. I took like the most acid I've ever taken. I was like 3 rows behind the stage, just fucking like in Mars, and like the show ends, and then like I'm sitting by myself. My friends are in a different place, so I have to find them in the Barstool Sports office.
Jesus Christ, dude.
That tripping that hard.
Yeah, having
trying
to
to
find
wander
people.
through the streets of
Having
New
to
York.
find people. Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's like enough of a thing, and they also were not experienced in that at all. So like, they didn't understand like the mental state I was in whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah.
I met up with them. Actually, I'm at the door, and fucking PFT commenter comes out, and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, just like gazing into his soul,
Yeah.
and like he's just like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "I'm here for Tyler." And he just let me in, which is fucking insane, because I could have just been some crazy person on the street, but I was just tripping my ass off. And like we go back to my friend's apartment, and I'm trying to communicate to them that like I need a place to be like awake for the next 4 to 5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and like. It's a very small New York apartment, and somebody's already sleeping on the couch. So, like, there's nowhere for me to really be up.
That does not sound good for psychedelics, man.
No,
Like,
and I
just
can't communicate this
a
idea.
little studio New York apartment. Like.
And I can't communicate this to him at all, because I'm too high to really verbalize anything. So, like, I'm calling my other friend who's in the city, hey, I might need you to meet up with me, but I can't explain why. And he's like, he thinks I'm dying. He was like, dude, I'm gonna come fucking get you. Like, I got you. You're my boy. Like, nothing's gonna happen to you tonight. And then my friend, like, finally, he just like put the piece together. He's like, oh, you just need to be awake. And I was just like, yeah, that.
Yeah,
and
maybe
he's
some
like,
grapefruit.
Yeah, and I just threw Planet Earth on, and then the other one slept on the couch, and I just kind of sat there, and I had a good time. But
That's fire.
I was like supposed to take the bus home the next day, and I just skipped it and like borrowed some money to get into the second show, and I go do that, and like I get on the bus like right after the show, like the 12:30 bus. Like went from Penn Station like the MSG to like Times Square, took the bus back home, like get to the Boston at like 4:30 in the morning.
All of these things sound so awful on psychedelics, like being.
It's just
like,
an adventure.
I
It depends
know,
on how
I
you
know.
embrace the psychedelics.
But if you're on like a dirty Greyhound bus, it's like exactly
Yeah, but I
the
wasn't-
opposite of what your mind wants. you
True,
know?
but I wasn't tripping at that point, so.
Right, yeah. I sort of assumed it would still be in your system. All that, like, how much did you take?
Like 3 tabs the first night. I didn't take anything the second night.
Yeah.
So, but by the end of the second show, I was like so fucked up that like I just like sleep deprivation wise.
Right.
That, like
Yeah.
I couldn't even like function. And then, but I get back to like the bus station in Boston at like 4:30 in the morning. I had literally no money in my account to Uber home, so I had to give a girl $20 just to call me an Uber. And then
That rules.
I get paid the next day, and my buddy's like, I'm supposed to go to Nassau the second night with my dad. My buddy's going the first night by himself, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna let you go alone. So I ride with him all the way to Long Island. I bought 2 tickets because it was the same price for 2 tickets as it was for 1. So I was like, I'll just sell 1 in the parking lot, and they'll just be even. And like I sell it to this like probably 50-year-old like alcoholic hockey dad type guy,
Sick.
right? And then he, so I like go to buy some mushrooms, and I come back and he's like, oh, you got mushrooms? And he's like, you go get me some. So I was like, cool. So I get the guy mushrooms, and then like I come back and he like doses me with acid at some point in this.
What? He just like gave you a bottle of water or something? Like.
No, he just like slipped a strip of acid on my tongue. There's probably like 5 hits in that.
Sick.
Yeah. So and then I still ate the mushrooms because I'm stupid. But what's it called?
That must have been a crazy coagulation,
Sounds
dude.
fun.
Yeah, it was an interesting combo.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't recommend it. But,
No.
I mean, I found that acid and shrooms, like, if dosed correctly, they do essentially the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just I think acid's just more energetic and like lucid, whereas like
Right.
mushrooms are
Shrooms
much more
will,
like
like, put
body
you-
high,
yeah,
like pull
yeah.
you down. So like they were just like conflicting with each other. But I drive back through the night from the show with my buddy. Drive back the next day with my dad. My dad gets so drunk he pukes all over the floor. And
So he's not judging you for tripping balls.
Well, yeah, and I also took the rest of the mushrooms that night, so I just, like, instead of handling the situation properly, I kind of just walked away. I was too high to deal with it.
That's sick.
And then so this guy's, like, blackout drunk, sitting, like, somewhere in, like, the hallway of the fucking arena.
You know, honestly, when I'm that drunk and I'm just throwing up, like, I kind of do just want people to walk away. Like, I just
That's
want to be alone,
solid
deal
point.
with it myself,
Yeah.
you know.
It could have
Not
gone so
make it
poorly,
other
though.
people's
I had to
problems.
find him at the hotel across the street, and, like, he was too drunk to communicate any of it.
Yeah, I
It
suppose
was-
that could be dangerous.
Well, because he smoked weed too, and then like yeah, dude, and then so on the way home the next morning, my buddy in Philly texts me, he's like, hey, like, because his dad's in the military, so, like, there's a troop ticket service where he basically just gave tickets away for free. And he's like, hey, like, I can get somebody, and me a free floor ticket to Hampton in Virginia tomorrow if, like, anybody can get here. And I was like, I'm in. So I get back to Boston, like, shower, change, do my laundry, get back on a bus to New York, take, like, the 1:30 bus from New York to Philly, crash in Philly for the night, take, like, the 7:30 bus from Philly to D.C. The bus goes local in D.C., so now I'm, like, it takes, like, 11 hours in the bus just to get to Hampton, Virginia.
Oh, God.
Finally get there. Get into the show, take some more mushrooms, and my buddy has to leave at the end of the show, but I had a friend who was, like, going to school in Norfolk, which is, like, right across the bay, so, like, I had a place to stay, and I had a backup plan where, like, my buddy Joey, he was like, you can stay with, like, me and my dad in our hotel. So, like, my buddy, the Norfolk kid, he ghosted me before the show, because he's playing basketball at Old Dominion. It turns out he was, in, like, a meeting with the NCAA about eligibility, but he didn't communicate that at all. And, like, I get out of the show, my buddy Sam, who I went with, had to take the bus back home immediately after the show. So now I'm like, it's 40 degrees. I'm only wearing a jean jacket. I'm, like, on mushrooms. I'm stranded in Hampton, Virginia, because the one who's like, you can say me and my dad, I get out of the show, he's like, so my dad has sleep apnea, and he's not sure if he can sleep with us, being on drugs, talking all night. So now I'm like, things are getting dark, and some guy just goes, Josh. And I was like, what? And he, like, grabs, gets my face, like, shakes me. He's like, Josh. And then, like, it fucking hit me who it was. It was the guy from Nassau.
Oh, no shit.
Who dosed me.
Yeah.
And I just explained the story. He goes, get in the car.
Oh, my God. So clutch.
Yeah. So then I just ride up with him and his girlfriend to, like, their farm in Maryland. Crash for the night. They drive me back to the show. Bought me food all day. Bought me more mushrooms. Bought me a ticket into the show. And then dropped me off at Union Station in D.C. at 4:30 in the next morning. And then I met Bill Burr the next day in New York. It was a pretty...
What a beautiful karmic moment.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
It's like you help this dude out, and then he reappears.
Yeah.
Just from the clouds.
He was a fucking angel, dude.
Yeah.
I feel
that guy wasn't even real.
That's a great...
No.
That's your guardian angel.
Yeah. He was an acid angel.
Yeah. These... I don't want to get too hippie metaphysical, but, like, that shit can only happen on Grateful Dead tour. Like, that's the only... Like, everyone has stories like that, and you're just like, how? You're just like, that's just how it fucking is, dude.
Yeah. Oh, man. Fuck. What a great story.
Yeah, I think I could have died that night, because, like, I was 40 degrees in Hampton, Virginia. I was stranded. Like, I had nowhere to go.
Yeah. Being stranded is a scary feeling.
Mm.
Dude,
especially that far away from
and
home.
on drugs.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, and you just, and then it commingles with, like, depression. You're like, what kind of piece of shit am I that I've put myself in this situation?
Yeah.
And then that's clouding your judgment.
I'm fucking retarded.
Okay, here's my acid story. It doesn't involve me taking acid. I have a couple of those, but this is by far my favorite acid story. Is my senior year of college, during, like, senior week, when everybody was doing their theses and, you know, senior art projects and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Most of the campus is on essentially a bender. And this dude from, I think it was Alpha Delta Phi, filled a squirt gun with acid water.
Oh, shit.
And just went around blasting people, like just shooting people in the face. And he got this one girl who was supposed to do her senior thesis art project presentation, like, later that day. And the way her art installation was essentially, like, she had this space in the building, probably about half the size of this room, and it was a very, like, chaotic presentation. It looked like somebody, like, bombed Sesame Street or something. Like, seriously, it was just like this multicolored, chaotic thing.
Yeah.
She goes to her art installation. She's tripping as much as humanly possible. She passes out amidst her installation.
Fuck.
And because everything in the installation was so chaotic, people just interpreted that as being part of the presentation, part of the project.
Holy shit, dude.
So she got away with it. And she fucking came to hours later, being like, what the fuck happened? People are like, well, you passed your class.
Fuck, dude. That's sick.
Any psychological effects from that?
I don't know. She was already a weird girl.
It probably fucked her up then.
Yeah. Probably not great.
Or it made her normal. One or the other.
Or it made her normal. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I feel like if you pass out, you lose the the introspection phase of the come down.
Yeah, I don't know. And of course, surely she'd been boozing all week and whatnot, but the idea of, just her collapsed amongst all this crap and then passing the glass.
Then they're just like, hell yeah, dude. Great.
Great. Yeah. That works. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I want to be on the record saying don't dose people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're cool.
It's crazy. Dosing people is crazy. Because it's like, it's obviously unethical to give people drugs without their consent under any circumstance, but to give people acid, which is potentially an 8-hour revelatory experience.
Yep.
That's not like, I don't know, like throwing some espresso, like some caffeinated coffee when somebody asks for decaf. Like,
yeah,
it used to be known.
Acid to change your fucking life.
Literally, it used to be known if you were around the Grateful Dead scene, like you do not leave any drinks.
Yeah.
Unattended, because they will be dosed. Like one time, they were taping Playboy After Dark with Hugh Hefner, and their sound man Owsley, who was he's known as the greatest acid maker of all time. He was also their sound man. He was also their benefactor.
I've heard of this guy. Yeah.
He like the bear. His nickname is Bear, so the dancing bears, which are actually marching there. That's after him.
Oh, okay.
But,
yeah.
He was like. He had like a synesthetic experience, like the blending of senses.
Right, yeah.
Where he was able to see sound, so he became obsessed with sound. So he became the band's benefactor and just bought them like the most insane sound equipment. And he was mad that Hef wouldn't let him set up their sound equipment for the show. So he got payback by dosing the coffee with that all the crew was drinking out of.
Oh,
so
shit.
the entire show is just everyone tripping the fuck out on acid. And if you watch it, you're like, oh yeah. Like Garcia is to fucking heaven, and it's just very funny that they would just do shit like that back then because they just didn't realize how fucking insanely unsafe and
yeah, that's nuts, dude.
Yeah, it's the wild west of drugs, man. Yeah, it's
bring
kind
it
of.
Back.
I had this kind of revelation. I was at the MFA in Boston, and I saw this old thing, this old statue, this Greek statue of Dionysus, and he was talking about how they literally thought drinking was communing with the gods. Like when they got fucked up, they were just like, "Oh yeah, I fucking talked to God real hard last night," and it's like. That's such a more fun way to interpret stuff. Now we have such a clinical relationship with substances. It's like I drink alcohol and it's a poison that affects my brain in this, that, or the other way.
Yeah.
Well,
it would have been fun to be in a time where they had no other explanation, but it's just fucking God, man. I don't know.
They also had the Eleusinian Mysteries back then, where they actually were just tripping their fucking ass off.
Right. I mean, yeah, weren't they consuming ergot or some kind of mushroom?
Yeah, and they would just hang at this commune that you weren't allowed to talk about and just get blasted out of their gourds for a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
the symposium.
It was I think it was their coming of age thing, and they weren't allowed to go back or ever discuss it.
Yeah.
But if you were initiated, you were initiated.
You were in.
Yeah, we should start a drug cult. Is what I'm saying.
True.
We should just.
I haven't done
mysteries.
shrooms.
Dude, fucking tripping on a psychedelic is it's such a rite of passage.
Yeah, I think
Dude, the last time I did
everybody
shrooms,
should.
I had
I agree.
the worst trip I've ever had in my life, dude. It was so
No
bad.
shit,
I haven't
why?
done them since.
What happened?
Dude, so it was at one of my friend's birthday parties. We took shrooms before it, which already horrible idea. It was at his house.
Mm-hmm.
It was a rainy day. Did an eighth or so, but I don't know what was good with these shrooms, but they were fucking everyone up at this party. This girl pissed her pants at this party on shrooms, dude. It was crazy. But, dude, my bad trip was I just kept feeling like I couldn't get away from people.
Mm-hmm.
You know how sometimes when you, you said, if you're throwing up drunk, you just need a minute to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
I felt that on shrooms, and anywhere in the house I would go outside to smoke a cigarette, someone would be out there. I would go on the porch, someone would be there. I would go upstairs, someone would be... I was like, dude, I literally can't get away from people. And that's how it started, and then it just... I was like, his mom's here, dude, this is fucked. Oh, shit, I'm fucked. And then I went upstairs, and I laid in the cot, and I felt like I was just, stuck in this fucking bed, and I was just like, oh no, this is not going to be a good couple hours.
Dude, any feelings of claustrophobia or being trapped, particularly in a gross environment, it's literal hell. It's the worst thing possible. Oh, dude,
every
another...
time I take a long flight, even if I'm not high or anything that, I have a moment 3 hours in where I'm like, I'm gonna lose my mind if I don't get out of this fucking plane
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, claustrophobia is one of those things that people get as they get older, just out of nowhere. Like Nate Bargatze talks about this. He got just out of nowhere in his 40s. He just became claustrophobic. He just got in the back of a cab one day and was just like, "I need to get out."
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, another tripping story. This is a brief one, and it's a friend of a friend. But they, a couple guys, like, they were home for break. They were in college. They were home for break. They were sitting on their buddy's porch, eating mushrooms. Mm-hmm. They're just starting to come up. Their buddy's dad comes home, sits on the porch with them, and is like, "Buddy, your mom and I are getting a divorce."
Oh my god.
cool.
That's horrible.
Like, oh fuck.
So he had to go through that whole talk just high on, like, just
Yeah,
freshly high on mushrooms.
I don't remember how that story ends. I wish I did. I would
We know how
imagine.
they are, Jens.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, you know.
The secretary at work.
God, yeah. Have you ever found that taking psychedelics has like helped you process like a big life event like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think.
Because obviously that is horrible timing. You don't want to get
Yes.
told something like that when you're tripping. But if you're struggling to like, you know, allocate it mentally or whatever.
No, I think like whenever I'm going through something heavy like that, I'll like kind of get nervous when I'm about to take psychedelics because I know it might come up. But it's usually just like this thing of like, well, like I always just get to a point where I'm like, well, what the fuck else am I gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
it just is. You just have to accept it. Like it just
Right.
is what it is. Like, all right, like. Am I gonna run from this thought or like this fear or this pain or whatever? I'm just gonna be like, well, you know, that's what the deal is.
Yeah.
Like, can't really get out of that, like, you know. And I'm
Yeah.
usually fine after that, so. But I'll have, like, a moment like that about something pretty much every trip, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially, like, the come up, when you're like, fuck, like, I just strapped my, like, it feels like the roller coaster's going up.
Right,
You're like,
yeah.
I got no way out of this, like, what's all the bad shit going on right now?
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, fuck, and you're just like, alright, I just have to accept it and be like, well,
Yeah.
it's not that fun. I'm on this ride and I'm not getting out, so.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So did we watch Shane on SNL?
I did.
Did, yeah.
I watched it live.
What did we think?
Well, the opening sketch was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, for
The
sure.
cold open?
Yeah,
so
the cold
bad.
It was
open was
fucking
really
horrible.
bad.
It was so bad. And the whole time I was just like, Shane should just come out as Donald Trump. It would have fit so perfectly
would've
with
been the
that
perfect ending
sketch.
to that sketch.
Yeah.
How that didn't occur to them, I don't know. Although
Well,
I guess I
I think
suppose
'cause he had
the
to do
host
monologue, yeah.
doesn't do the opening thing.
Yeah.
He'd have to get out of costume and things
Yeah.
like that. He bombed like a motherfucker during his monologue. But that
Yeah.
wasn't his fault. It's just like, that's not the crowd. Like,
I thought the monologue was great.
the monologue
thought it was
wasn't
good.
It was
great.
incredibly
He
good.
just, like,
yeah.
it was very clear the audience didn't like him.
Yeah. I wish he hadn't addressed it so much because from a viewer's perspective, you can't tell.
No.
Right.
But I get that. I
Yeah.
do that all the time. I'm like,
Totally,
oh, you guys didn't
yeah.
like that joke, huh? Well, you're not going to like this one.
Yeah.
I think it just shows that, like, no matter where you're at, you're just, like, still a comic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't matter how big they get. Like, I've seen fucking Bill Burr bomb. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, no matter how big people get.
Yeah,
it's
it
just-
happens.
It is what it is. Like,
Yep.
And, like, that was clearly not, like, I you know, I went into it being like, oh, Gillis is great, like, he's gonna murder, and then you're
Yep.
like, oh, yeah, like, this is just, it's like when Burr was there, where he just bombed with that, like, fucking,
That was great,
it's
too.
such a great bit, but
Yeah.
because he's the guy who can, like, sit in that discomfort and, like, work through it, whereas
Yeah.
I feel like that's not Gillis' style as much.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, also, he's probably-
Burr knows, like, Burr structures his bits around making people uncomfortable and, like, sitting in, so he, you know.
Well, so this is like the irony, because I think you're absolutely right. This is the irony of like Shane Gillis getting like this reputation as being like this anti-woke, edgy dude, when in reality his material, his like energy as a comic is he really just wants everybody to like him.
Yeah.
You know, like I've seen, like Louis has done monologues where he'll go up and immediately start talking about pedophiles, and then just straight up to tell the audience like, I don't care that you're upset. Like
Right.
this is
Yeah.
fun for me.
Yep.
I don't give a shit. Tom Segura is like that as well. But Shane, I think Shane really he's too soft for that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he doesn't have that like "fuck you" thing.
Yeah, not
Which
at
is,
all.
like, I don't know, I find it so weird that like he's been propped up like that as like the anti-woke.
I was just glad he made fun of Phil and had them put the
fucking
camera
ruled.
on him. Dude, that was
ruled.
great.
Yeah, having his mom.
That was
there,
one for the boys.
Having Phil there. Yeah, there were so many nods
Yeah.
to the dogs.
Yep.
That was it was a good moment to see him get that, but the show sucked.
I thought the sketches were better than SNL sketches like ever are these days.
To be fair, I don't watch really any.
I don't
SNL
either,
these days,
actually.
So it's like,
I don't either because they're fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But
I like how he got fired for doing an offensive accent. Immediately, the first sketch is him doing an offensive accent.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty.
Yep.
that was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Liberty Mutual commercial is the best sketch that
Easily.
was on the shows.
Yeah.
Like that night, though.
That was hilarious.
Easily.
I like the Jamaican church.
Yep.
The
The
HR,
Trump shoes,
the HR
obviously.
meeting.
Oh, yeah.
HR meeting was sick.
HR meeting.
You could tell
Yeah.
the awkwardness between him and Bo and Yang, though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
immediately.
Dude, I had this like kind of, I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, but like watching that the game show sketch, which I didn't think was funny.
No, it wasn't.
I couldn't help but wonder if like, because the first 30 seconds of it is just Bo and Yang just looking retarded and unfunny.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if like, it would be sick if Shane at like read through was like, no, we're doing that. We're doing this.
Yeah.
He knew it was going to bomb. He knew it would just make Bo and Yang look like an idiot. Although, I don't know, reflecting on that whole thing, like, I kind of feel a little bad for Bo and Yang, because it's like, he didn't ask to be the sort of, like, unofficial spokesperson for Asians on SNL.
Yeah, true.
No, but
You
he
know.
did. He was like the leader of the whole Fire Shane Gillis thing. Like he
Yeah.
really ran with that on Twitter when it all happened,
Mm.
Yeah.
which is like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's like anybody on SNL who gets hired who isn't white is just becomes like the spokesperson for their race and everything. But
Right, yeah. And I suppose, yeah, if he embraced it, I forgot that he embraced it.
Yeah.
I never saw those tweets.
he was pretty aggressive about the whole thing, which is funny because it was all edited out of context and things like that. But you know,
Yeah.
just kind of how it goes.
Yep.
Something I liked about the monologue is the way he used the word retarded. Like, if you break down the structure of that joke, like how he's using the word retarded, it's exactly the same way he used the C word on that podcast. He was like, he's parodying
Someone else saying
who he
it.
knows shouldn't actually be using the word the way he
Mm-hmm.
is. So it's like, I don't know, it was a nice like full circle moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
it
yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty funny.
Mom's
That's
gay.
it. Yeah, the
Mom's gay best
the
friend
best
is
friend
very
was
funny.
Gay
fucking
best
good.
friend is great. Yeah.
I do wish he didn't do like the retarded stuff just because like it was old, but I get why he did it. Cause like like the Louis thing where he's like, yeah, most people here like who are watching this have not seen you. They don't know
Yeah.
your act at all.
Mhm.
So just do your best.
But he still
joke.
changed the end of it.
Yeah, he had a bunch
Yeah.
of.
The only thing he did was the it nicked me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 7 full, like, we know as well as anybody, a brand new 7 minutes, untested, on the biggest stage possible is pretty fucking impressive. I mean, like...
I feel like I want to see if he does any of that material. I'm probably gonna see him when he comes to Boston. Pay
nice. Yeah.
$200 for a ticket, but
Right, yeah.
see if he does any of that material. If that's his new act or not. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm curious now.
I'm pumped for Tires.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
Tires is
sick.
gonna be sick.
Yeah, the cast looks insane for that one. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued as to how that's gonna play out.
Have you watched the pilot
Yeah.
on YouTube?
I've seen
It's
it a couple
it's
times.
like probably
It's hilarious.
6 years old now or something, maybe even older.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Netflix is the good guys are winning right now.
Yeah.
It really seems like it.
Yeah.
The whites are so back.
The white boys are back.
It was pure diversity for a minute, but you know what?
Yeah. We're gonna start being in commercials again, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna start having like
They're gonna start giving us stand-up specials again. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if I'm okay. I had a story, but I don't know if I'm at liberty to say it, so I'm not gonna say it.
All right. I mean, we can go back and cut stuff.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna name names, but somebody I know was like,
We name names on this pod.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But somebody I know was like, they recorded a special and they were like talking with Netflix about it, and he was like, they were like, you know, we've been like pushing so much for like diversity in our stand up lately, where it's like it's almost like you're gonna be like a new thing, just like having a white guy.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, dude, I think South Park was right when they remember that episode with like the two old farmers watching like the PC frat house, and they're like, well, everything's going PC again. How long did it last time? About 7 years.
7 years. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
About 6 years to go. They were almost exactly right about that.
Yeah. Him and Bill Hader, dude. That's Trey Parker and Bill Hader play those characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Bill Hader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what when Randy was doing the Steamy Nicks.
Steamy Nicks.
Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Steamy Ray Vaughan. Steamy Ray Vaughan. Steamy Ray Vaughan. That's what it was. He's like, he couldn't understand the music that Stan was listening to, so it just sounded like fart noises to him.
Well, no,
so he would just get on the
mic. And like.
Yeah, he met Steamy
met
Nicks or whatever. Yeah. But the farmer, him and Bill Hader, there's a clip of them recording that, and you could see them in the studio recording it, and like they just die laughing the entire time. Like they can barely get through it. It's like, who's that guy? You seen that fella down at the bowling alley? What's his name? Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's like, is that the fella that played the blues and died in an airplane crash? He's like, no, that was Stevie Ray Vaughan. Steamy Ray Vaughan just shits his bridges. It's literally one of the funniest South Park moments of all time. Oh, it's too good. I just watched the Tourette's episode before I came here.
Dude, that was the first episode I ever watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It's a perfect introduction to South Park. Like everybody's really in top form. Like
Yeah,
Cartman's
great,
fully
dude.
anti-Semitic.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Steamy Ray Vaughan. When's the last time either of you guys shit yourselves in public? It's been a minute for me.
I've got a good record. I don't think I've done it since like elementary school.
I would say the same, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a couple times where like I had like a sweaty ass and then I farted and I was like, was that wet?
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
And then you gotta like stop and go to the gas station and you check and you're like, oh no, I just need to take a shower.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just long drives.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's something I do miss about elementary school is like that's always a possibility. Is somebody just could shit themselves at any time. Somebody could puke at any time. That's
Dude,
the best.
One time I shit myself. I had like bad diarrhea. I just tried to like I didn't think just throw out the underwear. I didn't think you could just not wear underwear because I was fucking 9. So I just
I'm not gonna throw out a perfectly good pair of underwear.
Yeah.
SpongeBob boxers. What am I gonna do here? So
Yeah.
I just like wiped it off and went back to class smelling like fucking diarrhea.
Jesus
Just sat through the
Christ.
rest of the day and nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything.
Nobody said a single thing.
That's
This
crazy.
seems like irresponsible on the teacher's part.
I was just going to say,
Very
yeah, the
Intervene.
teacher.
You're probably getting sick. You're probably getting a rash. You know.
Yeah, no, it was definitely. I remember. I don't know why I was so embarrassed to tell anybody that. Like, I just like held in having diarrhea. Like, I didn't hold it in; it came out. But I just like held the fact in
Right,
that I had diarrhea. For,
Emotionally, you held it in.
Yeah, I repressed my diarrhea for like 2 weeks.
It's so
There's
funny.
no way that's healthy.
It's
Yeah.
so funny of thinking of the teachers being like, they had to know.
Yeah,
They
everybody
had to know.
Everybody
So
had to know.
they're
I
just like, I'm not talking to Josh about his
Yeah.
fucking shit in his pants.
Someone,
Somebody
or they
else-
were
somebody
just
else
like
could do that.
they were
It's
just
such
like
a-
someone shit themselves in here, and I don't know who.
Yeah. And you don't want to just start.
That would have been
calling
funny
people
if it was like as like a prank, just like to put the shitty underwear in somebody's bag and just let them.
Yeah.
Turtle their bag with
Yeah,
the shitty underwear in it.
Sabotage.
Just.
Yeah.
When's the last time you guys
Just
turtled a backpack? That used to be my favorite
that was
thing
the
to
shit.
do.
You remember? Did you ever nerd people?
No, what's that?
What's
That was
nerdy?
when you because like, for some reason in my middle school you couldn't like bring your backpack into class, because maybe like school shooters or something. They never said that, but like now that I'm doing the math, it makes sense.
Wow.
So you'd have to leave it in your locker at the beginning of the day and just like get your binders and stuff. And we would like have to carry all of our binders for each class into each class.
Oh, that sucks.
With
dude.
like all of our pencil cases and shit
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
So we just would just nerd people where we would just like smack
Oh,
everything
smack it out of their hands.
So
True.
like it was always like the pencil case would break open,
Yeah.
everything would go flying everywhere. It was wonderful.
Jeez.
And then there was this kid, this Asian kid who was like very poor. Everybody bullied. I didn't do that. I want to be clear. But one time like somebody like
Was that a wink? No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
I elbowed him. But dude, one time somebody nerded a different kid, and Jamin was already in trouble. So there's somebody nerded that kid, and then like they all jokingly said like it was Jaimin, and like expecting him to be like obviously that wasn't me.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, the fuck you gonna do about it?
He just wanted to be.
That's
just
a
wanted to be
He
like.
was just fucking down.
Yeah.
Like,
Just take the rap.
Yeah.
For no reason.
he just like fist bumped everybody, and we're like, yeah, nobody's making fun of this kid again.
Yeah.
He's fucking
Yep.
cool.
Yep. That was his way out.
Yeah, you just be like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm already in trouble. What are you gonna do? Like yell at me for like?
What town did you grow up in that they didn't let you fucking take your backpack to
Yeah,
class?
I'm still laughing at the idea of a
Burlington?
kid
Oh,
bringing
shit, dude.
a fucking gun to school and being like foiled by having to leave their backpack in the hallway. Just
Yeah.
like, damn it! I was gonna shoot up the school.
Yeah, I
But
can't
they-
get my
I
backpack
gotta
in
do it before
class.
first period.
But I gotta leave my backpack in the hallway. I can't believe I didn't think of this.
That's fun. Dude, Burlington doesn't seem like the place that would do that. That's crazy. Because in Saugus, we could bring it to class and stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like the.
I'm
they're
only
they're
like,
hoping you shoot
feel
up
like
the
the-
school.
yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm only like a couple years older than you, too.
If it was Saugus, it'd be a little more targeted there. Like, all right, there's probably some beef there.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Yeah.
You
There was
probably
more, yeah, we never had any, like, school shooting threats or anything, but there was kids who killed themselves, like, multiple times, and we got to go home early.
Nice.
So, shout out.
Thanks,
Shout out to
So
you
that's
guys,
a
dude.
contribution. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's
No,
nice.
one of them was pretty fucked up, though. He jumped
Well,
off.
only one of them was fucked up.
Only one of them.
Like, more fucked up, dude. He jumped off
It's
of
supposed to be
the...
those
He
pleasant
jumped off of the
suicides.
overpass on Route 1.
Jesus.
Like, head
Whoa.
first. Like, right by Kelly's roast beef.
Did he hit a car?
No, almost, the truck almost hit him, but he stopped.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think it would really make too much of a difference for him.
But he didn't
Well,
die.
he's-
Well,
yeah, he's-
he didn't die on
Oh yeah, so
impact,
you're
I
saying
don't
like
think.
you don't want him to hit the car. Like,
Right,
he hurt the car
exactly. It's
person,
kind of
yeah.
yeah. It's like tossing a penny off the Empire State Building. It's like,
Yeah. Is it going to hit
You're
someone on
being a
the,
dick, yeah.
on the
Yeah.
bottom? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite Andrew Tate videos.
Yeah.
Is him standing at the top of a tall building and being like,
But it was off of a...
"Yeah."
It'd be very funny
What?
if that's what got him into jail was murdering somebody, throwing a penny.
Oh man.
Fucking
Yeah, it's
Andrew
too bad
Tate.
he's a convicted sex trafficker because he is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I do enjoy his videos.
Yep.
It's like Trump, really, where you're like, it's too bad I just don't like him because god damn it is this guy funny.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly. If the consequences of his actions weren't real and terrible,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like this would be very, very fun.
If we didn't have 12-year-olds hitting women,
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
this would be hysterical. But unfortunately,
Yeah. Yeah, there are some funny videos online. You can see like the ripple effects of like the manosphere online, and these
Oh, yeah.
dudes that have just taken it under the made it their personality to be like top G, but they're kids for the most part.
Yep.
So there's just these videos of them just yelling at their moms and their teachers and shit. It's like, dude.
you just like see like a 12-year-old lecturing you on the grind.
Yeah.
And you're like, what it means to like invest, and you're like, dude, you don't.
It's like, dude, if you don't have a
investing your
sports
allowance?
car-
How do you like? What do you?
If you don't have a sports
Yeah.
car at 16, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, dude.
You have to have at least your first million by the age of 17, which you get borrowed from your dad.
Yeah. Small loan of $1 million.
Yeah, small loan of $1 million.
It's very small.
Fuck. Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of suicide, dude, we can talk about Atlanta.
Oh right,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. What did we think of this
I
person
think it was,
self-immolating?
I think it was funny that he went to the Atlanta.
Josh,
embassy.
our first Jew on the pod.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Oh, Tiny said half, no? Tiny's,
Well, I'm half.
Tiny's
but,
part.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did find it funny that he went to the Atlanta Israeli embassy.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, I was just hoping a couple like black Israelites would come out and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? We're not the guys."
Oh, fuck, that's great.
Oh god, the black Israelites fucking rule.
They'd be like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
that's so
Whitey's
cool,
killing
dude.
himself."
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Just like world star.
One less white devil. What about Palestine?
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It's. I mean, the idea that he thinks that might make a difference, like.
I think it's just it's really funny to be like for all the people who are like championing that, because like, yeah, of course it's like impressive in the sense of an active radical protest, but like all the people who are like cheering it on, I'm like, well, don't just talk about it, be about it. Like if you're that big of a fan of them, fucking, you know,
join in.
Yeah.
Tap in. Get rid of some of these blue heads.
I just don't see what's the end game. It's just like, okay, if everyone lights themselves on fire, we just have even more people dead. Like, no, this isn't gonna make the U.S. is just gonna watch that and be like, well, didn't really work in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like that guy did it, and that didn't stop the war. You know.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I guess it's just like one of those like just cultural touchstones. People will remember being like, wow, yeah, people were pretty fired up about the whole Israel thing.
Yeah.
In one case, literally.
Yeah,
you know that war that's been going on for fucking hundreds of years.
It's literally the oldest war ever. It's the oldest war ever.
In 2024, people were really fired up about it.
Yeah, they rekindled it.
Yeah, literally on their body.
Yeah. Dude, I mean,
like the guy pulling the gun on him.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, that is.
Somebody pulled a gun on him?
Dude, one of the cops next to him, instead of like, because like all the other cops are like grab fire extinguishers. This one guy's just standing there with a gun. Like,
what is he gonna do?
Yeah. Like the episode of South Park.
Like
where
he had C4 in his body or something that was about to explode.
Like somebody's like coughing from COVID or something, and the cops come rushing in and just shoot Token.
Yeah,
no reason.
Yep.
He was reaching for a gun.
I mean, I would really love for like Bibi Netanyahu to get on TV and be like, wow, you know, I wasn't gonna stop the war, but then I saw this dude light himself on fire in Atlanta, and I was like, oh shit, people are really sad about this.
Yeah, he's serious.
I mean, there's not that much bombing left to do at this point, right? I mean, isn't all of Gaza pretty much leveled?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
They have like a couple standing porta potties left. That's about it.
I'm gonna want to be on the record. It seems pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our official stance.
Mm-hmm.
It seems bad. Seems
very bad.
Yeah, it's funny that how it affects people. It makes people so extreme. My roommate is Israeli, and he's a really smart, like, measured dude. I really like talking to him. Mm-hmm. But when it gets to the Israel stuff, I'm just like, dude. Like, he's all in, and I'm just like, dude, you're not helping your case.
Yeah.
If I, yeah.
I'd like to say I have opinions that would piss off both sides to a degree. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never considered lighting myself on fire for any reason.
No.
Did Richard Pryor light himself on fire intentionally, or was that an accident?
I think it was an accident. It was just, you know.
You do enough cocaine and you just spontaneously combust.
Yeah, just. There was also a lot of Jerry curls back then. I'm sure there were some hair products that didn't help.
Yeah,
some
true.
aerosols.
Yeah. Like, that was the worst part about Richard Pryor burning himself alive was just the effect on the climate.
Right. Yeah.
Greenhouse gases.
Yeah. Typical
Crack
boomer.
house gases.
Not just not thinking about the future.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
These crack users not thinking about the future. I mean, like.
Yeah, that's why cocaine should have a lighter sentencing. It's because it's not as bad for the environment.
Yeah.
Well, no, they do have to. It is processed with gasoline.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the process for making cocaine
is insane,
like,
dude. And then
do not look. If you don't know
that.
it, do not. If you like cocaine, I do not recommend you look up how
it's made. Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss, my friends.
Yep. Well, you can tell right when you do it. There's some sort of gasoline in there.
Yeah, no, I think it's
not just
it's
the.
pretty obvious in the taste.
Yeah.
I guess. Do you taste nasally?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you can taste it in your mouth, yeah.
Actually, most of smell is from taste, or taste is from smell. Fun fact.
Yeah, this is true.
Knowledge.
Yeah, I hope they legalize all drugs at some point. Although they tried it in Oregon recently and it did not work.
No.
They had to recriminalize a bunch of drugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like everybody was fucking dying.
Well, the fentanyl kind of changed that plan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, like, I think it's one thing to like legalize it from like decriminalizing it, but like if you're gonna do that, you have to like have them all sold through government sources so it's actually pure.
Right.
Because if people are still getting street drugs and it's all legal, that's only gonna make things worse.
Yeah.
It's like in Portugal where like, I think you can just buy, like heroin and coke from the government.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
God, that rules.
Yeah.
I could just be making that up, but
No, I think you're right. I think Portugal is like the first country to experiment with like.
yeah, and
Legal
all
drug
addiction
war.
rates dropped and like the
crime rates dropped.
the crime rates dropped
dramatically.
insane. Like,
Yeah.
because it's like and because people are willing to like get clean and look for help if you can just go to a police station, give them all your drugs, and be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, nobody wants to be a heroin addict.
Well, speak for yourself.
sure.
But.
Yeah, I mean, I understand wanting to be a casual heroin user.
Well, I just
Yeah.
want an excuse to rob my.
But it
parents.
immediately turns into.
Just wanted to pawn my mom's wedding ring.
Oh God. Yeah, I've never had anybody close to me in my life go quite that far down that path. I've seen people like develop relationships with drugs that like bothered me. Like I had a couple friends in college that started taking like Xanax every time they drank, and it made them so incoherent. I was living with these guys, and at a certain point, I told them I was like, "I'll move out.
Yeah.
Like I can't talk to you guys when you're doing this."
I had a buddy who got
And they cut it out.
dosed with Xanax while drinking and almost died.
That's super dangerous.
It's insanely dangerous.
Yeah.
And I had two friends who just went to rehab for coke and other things. So that shit scares me. So it's like.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, like, watching Mulaney's special, like, I never really, as beautiful of a special as it was, I never really got the sense that he was particularly happy that he went to rehab.
No.
Like, I almost got the sense he was like, if I could have kept it going,
Oh,
I would.
He definitely would have. Yeah.
But I just got backed into a corner by my loving friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think most addicts want to give it up. Like, it's not the drug they want to give up. It's all the effects around their life.
Right.
They still love what they're addicted to. That's why they're addicted to it.
Yeah.
That's why they say, like, you're never not an addict. Like, you're just, they're just taking it one day at a time.
Yep.
Because
That's a good point, yeah.
I don't know where to go with that.
No. Yeah. But no, you're right. I mean, or you just like some former addicts that I know, like my friend works in that shit in Florida. Like some of them just move to something else that they're addicted to now. Like
Yeah.
That's why they're all,
they're
like, fucking
degenerate
smoking
gamblers
cigarettes and,
or fucking
coffee
Well,
nonstop.
tons of sugar in their coffee. All
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the addictive personality is a very real thing. I've heard a bunch of anecdotes like that with about like Anthony Bourdain. Apparently, like he would just go from thing to thing to thing. Like he got super obsessed with jujitsu for a while. He got super obsessed with tanning. Apparently,
Yeah.
he was like addicted to tanning.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we had the Moxie thing run down. They just announced like there were gun shootings.
No shit.
Yeah, 43-year-old guy, 25-year-old woman.
Interesting.
Shit, huh?
I know,
It's
like
a
age
sugar daddy
gross.
daddy arrangement.
Dude, there was two younger girls at like the last
Guy
Boston
sitting in the
fight
cup
other
chair
day.
didn't like what he was seeing,
There
dude.
were two younger girls who like were pretty cute. And
Yeah.
they walked into the Laugh Boston mic the other day with like this gross older guy.
Mhm.
And I couldn't tell if it was just like they were walking in together. But then like he took a picture with one of them.
Oh.
And I was like, I was so disgusted. Like, look, if it's like a hot older guy, whatever. I mean, I'm still weirded out by it, but like, it's your life. But like, there was nothing even remotely attractive about this man. Like,
Yeah.
So Dewar finally pulled some
Dewar
girls.
finally fucking... Dude, there's no way Dewar has any money.
I was just gonna say that would be the funniest thing about him by far, to find out that he's an heir of some kind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dewar being a sugar daddy would be the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah.
He's just seducing them with those songs.
Yep. Yeah, you see Dewar walking the open mic with a guitar on your back, you better be ready to cry.
This is going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
What song did he sing at fucking...
I think it was an original.
Was it? Oh,
It was
dude.
beautiful. It was all about how how the girl left him for like a rich guy and how they can make it from the poor side of town.
Huh.
And the chorus had like some shooby doobies that he wanted the girls in the back of the room to sing, and they did not do that. I think he was offended. It was I wanted to cry.
What a fucking legend, dude.
I was telling you this. I tried to engage him at Jeannie Johnston one night, like tried to have a conversation with him, and he didn't take any interest at all. And I was just amazed because it was just like, dude, everybody spends.
He only wants to talk to women, dude.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
I should put on a wig and see if he talks to me then. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, dude.
No, I was just kind of trying to fix it.
But yeah, I felt weirdly rejected because I was just like. It just seems to me like people are just constantly whenever he's around, people are just trying to avoid him, basically.
Yep.
And so I was like, all right, I'm going to throw this guy a bone and give him some social interaction, and he didn't bite at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's like, buddy,
He had
there's
tits.
pussy to be had.
Yeah.
Yep. There is pussy to be had. Hey, you know.
Yeah,
That's the most
daddy issues are a real
uncomfortable
life
I've
thing.
seen. That's the most uncomfortable I've seen most female comics that I know is when he tries talking to them.
I know, and Ryan Howe exists.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a whole thing about Ryan Howe.
Yep.
How is that going? That mic that he's doing?
Is he doing a mic?
The show or Duck Duck Goofs. Didn't
think
didn't he get a venue?
I think it's
Yeah,
all
he has a
closing.
venue
He's
now.
supposedly opening a club next month, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope.
How can he afford to do that? Is it his parents' money?
Yeah,
Probably.
his mom's loaded. I think he made a lot in GameStop money.
No shit, really?
Oh, sick.
That's what I heard. I don't know. And then she like found some legal loophole with Cambridge Community Center. He was making money hand over fist with that whole thing. So sorry, this is falling off. I don't know.
Yeah, did he ever follow through on the threats
To sue me?
to sue you?
Sorry. Give me a second.
Technical difficulties here.
Yeah, for those
I don't know if there was
who
ever-
don't know, Josh is the Hannibal Buress of the Boston comedy scene.
I don't know if there was. I don't know if there was any direct threat. I just think like everybody assumed. It's like, oh, lawyer mom, I'm gonna get sued.
True.
But I was very careful about the language I used in that whole thing.
Yep.
And but yeah, she was like stalking my Instagram a little bit, which is weird.
She was his mom?
Yeah.
Weird. Huh.
There's some dude that was being kind of creepy to Taro, too. She was telling me. Or, like, I noticed it when I first saw him. I don't know if I should name drop or not, but he was, like, following her out of mics and stuff and, like, trying to walk with her and shit.
Yeah, she told me about that. I also heard that there's a whole whisper network and like with the women in the scene, like listing off creepy dudes, which is a good
True.
thing because there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure Tara wasn't just following herself.
I mean, maybe, but... Dude, she's a devout listener.
Yeah, she is. Shout out Tara.
Shout out Tara.
I'm just taking this out and holding it. All right, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm much more comfortable now.
Yeah. Oh, that
Oh,
works.
yeah, you get to sit back, dude.
Yeah, that works
Damn, I'm
fine.
jealous.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, not all of us are visionaries, Kenny.
Yeah,
we
that's
can't.
true. Yeah.
Did we have anything else? We're at 55.
That's perfect, I think.
We
Oh, we
did
can
it.
talk
Fuck
about
it again.
we can
Fuck the
talk
Trump
about Diddy.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah,
Diddy.
that's true. We didn't talk
That
about
leads
Diddy.
into what we were just talking about.
Yeah, so
I think
yeah.
they should start calling him Pete Diddley.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, so for those who don't know, P. Diddy has been raping everybody, it
Yep.
seems. Men
Yep.
and women alike. Been drugging people, forcing people to
Hide your
watch
kids,
dudes
hide
butt
your
fuck.
wife.
Yeah, hide your kids, hide your wife. Because Diddy's raping everybody out here. Yeah, forcing people to, like, he's doing, like, Lizzo type shit, you know, like, forcing people to watch sex, like,
Yep.
gay sex on TV and stuff.
Okay, but like, who among us?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and
If
of
I had
course,
a nickel,
yeah, if anything, this whole situation is just making me pro Diddy. You know, it's just making me for his behavior. Because like, you're running $1 billion music empire. You got to weed out the pussies. You know, you got to know who's working for you. And if
Yeah.
you're gonna trust these people, there's what better way to find out who somebody really is than to put a bunch of acid in their drink and put on some gay porn and see how they react. You know, that's a person being their true self in that situation.
It reminded me of that Chappelle bit when I first saw that the first guy came out that said that he sexually assaulted them. Chappelle was like, there was a dude raping men, and there was like 3 people that came out. So you know that there was 50 men that he raped already. Because dudes are taking that to the grave, dude.
Yeah, nobody wants to admit that shit.
So he's probably raped 100 men.
Yeah.
But, you know?
Oh, God. Yeah, we were talking about this with Phil. I mean, like, he's never, as far as I know, he's never had, like, himself any particularly interesting musical contribution. He's just, like...
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who did he?
Yeah.
The noises he makes are pretty good.
He's just kind of like showing up in the back of Biggie songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then allegedly conspiring to murder him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Just in the back of Biggie music videos. It'd be funny if, like, people went back and found, like, a Biggie music video and they saw Diddy, like, raping somebody in the background. Like, holy shit, there it is. It's been happening this whole time.
It's
Have
crazy
AI
how
make it, dude. That's it.
It's crazy how he's on his 3rd name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And everybody just accepted them all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody accepted Snoop Lion.
No, that's true. Yeah.
That's true. Apparently, the Rasta community wasn't thrilled with him either. He, like, went to Jamaica and they were like, dude, you
Knock it
can't
off.
just smoke a shit ton of weed and call yourself a Rasta.
Yeah.
No, I think what happened was that Bob Marley's family named Snoop Dogg the reincarnation of Bob Marley. Which I don't think makes any sense because
Yeah,
they were
that's
alive at the
ridiculous.
same time.
Yeah.
That is the most ridiculous thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that all happened.
That's hilarious. I mean, I love Snoop, but, like, Bob Marley was like a...
Wait, do we...
like a really important dude, you know what I mean?
Do we know why P. Diddy went from Puffy to Puff Daddy to P. Diddy to Diddy?
Maybe he thought he was getting people off the trail of his rapes.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Throwing people off the scent. They're like, my name's Brother Love now. They're
Maybe
like, no, I
every
I
time-
gotta
yeah.
throw people off the scent of the murders
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
so I can make room for all these rapes.
Yeah, Diddy is my murder name. Puff Daddy is my rape name.
Now, Puff Daddy's my murder name.
Yeah.
Diddy's my rape name.
Right.
I'm just gonna go to Sean.
Yeah.
Once I need forgiveness.
Bust out the combs. Fuck, man. Yeah, Diddy's fucking crazy.
Do we think that he killed Biggie? Like, that he had something to do with that? Really?
I think he's.
Wouldn't Biggie be...
he's
Wasn't
vaguely-
Biggie, like, his biggest
But-
source of money?
Yeah,
Like,
but Biggie was gonna leave him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Look,
so-
I watched a few interviews with his bodyguard, and then the guy who like ran Bad Boy with him, but didn't get any of the credit. There was like 3 guys, but one of them kind of didn't get the same amount.
Mhm.
And
There's
like,
always a
like
couple
yeah,
guys
no,
like
there was
that.
no way Big should have been in L.A. at that point, but Puff was pushing towards it, and I think it was because people he was connected with were connected with the Tupac thing. He was just trying to get that out of his back. He's like, all right, I'll give you him. Stop being mad at me.
True.
I mean, he was very much in on the first Tupac shooting. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, that one seems obvious, right?
yeah, it's like all these guys are in the studio, and he's in the building in some guy's office who literally admitted to the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Like planning the shooting, and he's in that guy's office. So all the Bad Boy artists don't know he's there, but he's there.
Diddy's there. you're
Yeah,
saying.
he's in a different office than the recording studio, so they don't know he's there, but he is there. And then Pac gets shot.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
like just white guys talking about rap.
I know. Huh?
It's just like,
Yeah, we know. And fucking, we were what, 4 when Biggie got, like, me and Eddie were like 3 when
Yeah.
Biggie got shot.
-2.
Yeah.
I mean, I did grow up in Brooklyn, obviously, with no actual overlap to the cultural phenomenon.
Mhm.
But like,
Wait, you were in Red Hook?
hmm? Yeah, repping Harlem, you know.
Hell yeah.
That actually doesn't mean anything anymore. When I was that's how I age myself. Is like when I was growing up, Harlem was like Harlem. Now Harlem's like Lululemons and wine
Yeah,
bars.
coffee shops and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, the
We need to bring back crack.
the
I've been
Biggie
saying.
obsession was definitely wild. Like people fucking loved him.
I mean, he was great.
Yeah. So stupid. These rap beefs.
Yep.
It's nice that they seem to be pretty much over. Although drill rap, I don't know.
Yeah,
Those
it
guys are
seems
killing
pretty
each other,
good. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then the Chicago guys for
Or, like-
a while, they were,
Yeah, IG Live. They
Yeah.
now they can just like pull up on Instagram Live and be like, "Where are you right now? I'm gonna
Right.
shoot
Yeah.
you."
It was crazy. I forget who it was. Some like Chicago rapper like literally shot a music video on like the turf of like his worst rival gang, and he got shot.
And he got
It's like,
shot
what do you think
immediately
is gonna happen?
after. Yeah, yeah.
I want that to happen in rock and roll.
No, dude, he killed a dude and took a picture at the scene with like the dude's blood on the floor still.
I know there was one who like literally just shot a music video like on the block that like he was beefing with, and then they shot him immediately.
Yeah.
Like 2 days later, it's like no, you can't. Oh, I think it like part of the song is about how he killed one of those guys.
Yeah.
Who's connected to like another rapper.
Yeah, that's our KED podcast, Fuck Around and Find Out listener of the week.
Yeah, for real.
It would be very
dude
funny if
found
stand-up
out.
comedy beef.
Stand-up comedy
escalated to-
beef would be sick. That
Right.
would be so great.
Yeah.
People
Instead of
shooting each
passive
other.
aggressive
Yeah.
posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
Louis J. Gomez and Anthony Cumia tweeting at each other. That's,
Yeah.
that's
Like
all
if-
we got, really.
if Ryan Howe was like, "Don't you ever step foot in Cambridge."
Yeah. Oh god. So you were making me laugh just now thinking about like rock and roll bands going back and forth, like Fish and the Grateful Dead shooting at each other, but they're so high they can't like.
They can't aim. Yeah.
I feel like it would just be everybody murdering prog rock bands. Just like the whole world unites to be like, fuck Jethro Tull.
Fuck.
It's like we can get the punks and the hippies to unite on this issue. The punks would actually murder people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, death metal is the scariest of them all, but I feel like they just
But those
burn
guys,
down
those guys are
churches.
softies, right? Aren't they like? Don't they make like chivalry their whole thing because they try to
It's like that's like
counter
punk-
the narrative?
that's
you
like
know?
punks where they like they come off all angry and then they're just like really nice people.
Right. Yeah.
Just fucking gay.
Yeah.
It's like Cosby being a clean comic and
Yeah. Exactly.
raping
Exactly.
40
Yeah, the nicer,
women or whatever.
I mean, I've always said with comedy, the nicer and like the more a guy props himself up as like this big feminist, the creepier he is.
Mm-hmm.
Every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I forget who said this, but it's one of my favorite expressions. Like, you can't trust a man with no vices. Like if somebody presents as this squeaky, I mean, like Mulaney was like that forever. You know,
Yeah.
this squeaky clean presentation. It's like, well, he was high as shit the whole
Plus,
time.
if he has no
Yeah.
vices, how is he gonna keep the women still?
Right.
that,
Oh, hell yeah.
that was a wood shop joke. Throwing it back to 7th grade.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, my 7th grade woodshop teacher, his name was Mr. Hodges. He was a dead ringer for John Gruden.
Who's John Gruden?
The
He was like the
football
ESPN
coach.
guy who was the coach of the Raiders.
Oh, right.
He was
yeah.
the coach of the Raiders.
Oh, right.
back in the day.
Didn't he like send out a bunch of emails like calling Goodell like a fag or something?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
well,
And
also
he
a lot
said
of
some
racist shit too.
stuff too. Yeah.
It's shocking that the 70-year-old white guy.
Yeah, it's a fucking football
He's
coach. Like at a
racist.
certain point, like.
It's like, have you ever talked to your high school football coach? He's racist. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's criteria to get the job.
Yeah, just like yelling at kids for wearing backwards hats and sagging
Yeah,
their
pull up
pants.
your pants, dude.
Yeah, it's important that we have a place in society to put these people.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. Like, and molding the minds of the youth is obviously that place.
Right. Yeah. Holding the minds of the youth with CTE and racist afterthoughts.
They're pretty before thoughts too. Dude, my high school football coach said some of the most fucked up shit you could imagine.
I feel like if I were a football coach, I'd say fucked up shit. You're trying to fire up your boys, right?
Dude, one time, my friend was going into the Marines. He was our kicker, and he missed a kick in a game we were blowing the other team out. And he was like, "This is why you're gonna die in Afghanistan." Or you're gonna come back and be working at fucking Target. It's like,
That's crazy, dude.
it's like, dude, you missed
That's
the PAT.
great.
Let's relax here. Oh yeah, he's
Fucking Afghanistan. So
he's
Fuck,
either gonna
dude.
die in Afghanistan or end up working at CVS. Was the insinuation there? I was like, dude,
I bet the Niners kicker got that at the Super Bowl for missing that PAT.
oh
This is
man.
what-
Got reamed out.
I feel like it's got to be different when you're like an NFL coach because like now you gotta like really.
Yeah, but kickers seem like they're kind of
They're all. I feel like they have to be head cases.
the coaches. You
Or the
mean?
kickers.
Oh,
Yeah, that is a bizarre position to have. Like a punter especially, it's like you're on the field because we're giving up.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
We're giving up. Also a kicker. Yeah, imagine.
But there was that dude, like, Rodrigo Blankenship or whatever. He played for the Colts for a little bit, and he was, like, nasty. And then he missed, like, 2 kicks, and they got rid of him, and he hasn't been signed again. It's like kickers just, like, fluctuate in and out, you know?
It's like a closer in the MLB. Like, once they lose their mental edge, their career's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they thrive on just fear and just, like, confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You just have one bad season. It's like, how can anybody...
Papelbon was sick, dude.
Dude, I
He was
grew
so
up.
sick.
I was a
I hated
Yankees
him.
fan growing up.
Did you?
mean,
I fucking hated Papelbon.
I loved it, dude.
I mean,
he used to
was
fire
kind of-
me
he
up,
was kind
dude.
of thugged, but that was like fun.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah.
just like... I don't know. I just thought, like, Daniel Barb is a better
I mean, I'm a Yankee fan. We had Mariano Rivera, so
True, yeah.
Papelbon could
One of the
make my
best
vote.
Like,
of...
Papelbon, when he was great. But, like, once he, like, was doing okay... It was like, all right, like that,
The
that
antics don't
cutesy
hold
shit
up
and
now.
the
Yeah.
dancing and the antics and like the ego and like lecturing
yeah.
everybody. Like, you can't keep doing this.
My BM's aunt dated him for, like, a while.
No
Jonathan
shit.
Papelbon. Yeah,
Is
she
I-
hot? She must
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know someone who said her roommate is hooking up with Jason Tatum. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he has a long-term girlfriend. And you can't let that info out. So,
True.
Yeah.
actually, you know her too, but I'm not gonna say. Not the one dating Jason Tatum, but the one who said that. Her
Oh,
roommate. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude,
It was
I
Tar,
like,
no.
Yeah, I like Papelbon's like walkout music. He came out to Dropkick Murphys. That was fun.
Yep.
It was a fun Boston moment.
It was-
I feel
yeah, it
like
was a
you're
nice
really
little-
at Fenway. Mariano would come out to Enter Sandman, which is fucking sick.
Actually, Mariano's
That's
last
great,
game at Fenway, which I think is actually his last game, I was like talking to him in the bullpen during the game, and like you're not allowed to ask for autographs during the game. He was the nicest guy ever.
I bet.
He like asked me if I had a ball, and I was like, yeah, but I'm not. Like, you're not allowed to do in the game. He's like, I'm Mariano Rivera. So
Yeah, I
do
don't give a
whatever the fuck
fuck.
I want. So
Yeah.
he was like, go get a ball, and then like I come back and he signed it right in the sweet spot, Mariano Rivera.
That
It was,
rules,
like
dude.
fucking sick.
That rules.
And he was laughing when I was trashing A-Rod.
Yeah.
Love that.
Fuck A-Rod. Oh, dude, for you guys and anybody listening to this, if you have some time, go and watch this Screwball documentary about, I don't know what that was, about A-Rod and his like steroid dealer in Miami. These are the dumbest human beings that have ever walked the face of the earth. I'm telling you. Like when they were
Balco? Like,
Yes, Balco. I mean, it was fucking unbelievable. Like when A-Rod was in like arbitration over like this scandal, because like it becomes a legal issue, weirdly enough, with the MLB when you're cheating like this. So they're negotiating, terms of suspension and stuff like that, and like A-Rod is basically effectively testifying against the guy who's been selling him steroids this entire time.
Yeah.
And like when the guy was giving his testimony in this legal proceeding, and like nobody was looking at A-Rod, he said afterwards, he was like, A-Rod made faces at me, like tried to make scary faces at me to get me to shut up, like literally. I mean, this is a grown man worth 9 figures, like
I've done such a
fucking
180
Jennifer
on A-Rod.
Lopez, and he's like a literal child. Yeah, he's doing that. Yeah,
I've done such a 180 on A-Rod.
yeah.
I love him now.
Yeah.
And not for the right reason.
Have you seen
I
him
think
tanning, dude? Have you seen him recently?
A-Rod Corp,
He's like
one of the
tanning
funniest
like
things
way
ever.
too much, dude.
Dude, fucking Donald Trump literally brought that into the mainstream. Tanning is like, everybody's tanning now.
Yeah.
Fucking Tucker Carlson is orange now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
crazy.
hilarious.
Tucker following Trump in the orangeness is very funny.
Yeah. Oh, man. But
I,
yeah,
I would
Super
love
Bowl.
for the entirety of Fox News to just be orange people by the end of.
Yeah.
If Trump wins again, they
They're
should
good-
all
they're
just do
getting
it.
there.
They're
Yeah.
you just
They're closing in on it.
you walk into a
Gutfeld
sense-
too, right?
Yeah.
He's getting there.
Dude, that show is so goddamn bad. It's like,
Oh, really?
it's crazy how bad it is.
I don't think I've ever watched it. I've just
Yeah.
heard of
Are
it.
we still talking about SNL?
No. I mean, we may as well be.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are basically as funny.
True.
Yeah.
You hear that Louis story he told about doing a show on doing Gutfeld actually, where like
Louis went on Gutfeld?
yeah, and he was
No,
like,
it was for Louis.
yes, it was
for the
Louis.
show.
Yeah, he
It was
knew
the
Greg
episode where
Gutfeld.
he's fighting with the lady about if
And
they
got
should be
felt
jerking off.
Right,
but
they're
there was
jerking
like a before they were getting ready to shoot, there was like a big Obama speech, and like, so he went into like the control room to like watch how they handled it. They didn't listen to a single word Obama said, and then just like not like there was no attempt to be objective with the news. They just did not listen to a single fucking word he said, and then just put over Bill O'Reilly on the screen and just started feeding him shit to talk.
I have heard Louis say.
He's like, again, he sounds silly. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Dude,
It's
I
like,
got that.
Dude, how do you know?
He wore
I
a
got
tan
that
suit.
Exact feeling looking at the articles churning out after Shane's SNL. It was
Oh, yeah.
all these headlines, these negative headlines. It's like you did. I guarantee you did not watch it.
Yeah.
Or you didn't watch it objectively.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
You
You had your narrative going in.
yeah,
You
and
decided
it's
how you
just
felt about
confirmation
it.
bias. Like
Yeah, exactly.
it's insane. Like I do think it is annoying. Like we're really going full circle with this, but like just the way that like people like most comics that get that big, their fans are not like hardcore comedy fans.
True.
So you just get like the best and
Yeah.
worst of everything, where it's like the people who just want to hear someone say retarded and gay
Yeah, those
don't
people
really
suck.
get him,
Yeah.
and then they just like they parrot him. So all the people who are like the polar opposite of that just instantly want to hate him.
Yep.
Right.
So it's like it just becomes like this thing of like nobody's objectively listening. It just a lot of his fans are listening for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's referenced that. Like, he referenced that in his first special, like, when he brought up Trump first. And people, and, like, the way the audience reacted, he was like, no, I'm not, not trying to start a rally here. I just think he's funny. That's all. You know? But, yeah, there are definitely people dumb enough to think, like, he is the Trump guy, you know?
Yeah.
And the gay retarded guy.
True.
I mean, he is a gay retard, but
Yeah. Fat gay retard. He's our fat gay retard.
But he's got like, there's, I don't know if you guys have seen at mics and stuff. There's people like, just trying open mics now that just do that thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's been going
Like
on
when Dane-
forever.
like when Dane Cook was big,
Right.
like people were doing that.
Like
that
when I
whole
started,
thing.
when I started, Jesselneck was the big one where everyone was doing Jesselneck.
Yeah.
And like,
Just dark one-liners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like there's, you know, where the twist is coming, but
Yep.
it's coming.
Yeah.
Like,
Tons of people are doing Shane. I've seen people. I saw a guy do Shane once so blatantly at Janie Johnston. I kind of like
Name names.
passive aggressive. I don't remember his name truly.
Probably hasn't come back.
Otherwise, I
around
would
that
totally
much.
call his bitch ass out.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He seemed like a nice guy. But like I straight up like
Well,
almost like passive aggressively called him on it after the set. I was
Yep.
like, "You've been watching a lot of Shane Gillis, huh?"
I mean, we
Yeah.
all start imitating the people we're
Of
influenced by.
course.
Like that's
Yeah,
just
of
natural.
course.
Like,
It's
and then you
just
start
like-
developing your own thing. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing fucking Bill Burr when I started, like 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure like all of any time that I've had any remote success on stage, it's because I pulled off like a slightly better than usual impression of whatever my favorite comedian is at the time.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
then
I
you
honestly felt
slowly-
like I was doing this guy a favor by pointing it out to him. Because I don't think it was necessarily intentional.
No,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is. It is about like I forget who said it, but it was like a bad artist is just imitating somebody. A great artist is imitating a lot of people.
Mm.
Like a
Yeah.
great artist is a collection of influence synthesized into your own version of whatever.
Yep.
Right.
A bad artist is just doing somebody else's shit.
Yep.
Right. You
Yep.
at a certain point you reach like a critical mass of influences.
Yep.
Where it's like none is dominant, so you're your own thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's
That's a sick
partially
quote.
why. Yeah, that's great.
I'm gonna take credit for it now.
But yeah, there's a lot of people out there doing Shane. I've heard people say this about David Tell. Apparently, David Tell is a big problem. People watch him and then they can't help but ape it. I mean, of course,
His
we
cadence
see.
is so fun to do.
Yeah, and we see little mini Nanettes all over the place.
Oh my god.
Oh,
people
true.
getting
Yep.
on stage and being like, "All right, I need to take this time to talk about Palestine."
Yep.
And there's no jokes. It's like complete sincerity, and it's like
I
you
go
know,
to
all right.
therapy.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we all do, okay? We're white and in our 20s. That's what we do.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I'm ready for. I think I've talked about this probably a couple times before on the podcast, but like I'm ready for the mental health thing to. It's just we're beating it to death at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
everybody's opener is like I have some thing. I have
Yep.
anxiety, I have depression, I have this, I have that. It's
I'm autistic.
I mean, I feel the same way about like
I'm autistic. It's like, come up with something new. Come on.
yeah, no, making fun of Italians. Like it's always funny, but like I've heard it. You know, it's like most times people talk about sex on stage. I'm like, you're not saying like. First of all, I hate when any guy or girl is just bragging about having a lot of sex on stage. Like that's their whole joke.
Yep.
It's just like, ooh, I'm not supposed to say that like I do that. It's just like that's not. I've heard a million people do this. It's like, and then like, because then you get.
I hate when dudes do that more than girls.
Oh
though.
Yeah, it's gross when dudes
sex
do it.
bragging about. Like,
it's just like
yeah.
There's
I don't
something,
like that.
something gross.
It's
like, dude, come on,
because the
not
guy
that.
who's bragging about it is not.
It's never
he's not. He's never the guy. Like it's just a really insecure guy.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's gross when both of them do it, and then you call either of them out, and it, like it just becomes like a whole thing. Like because it's like, oh, you just don't want women to talk about sex. It's like, no, I've just heard what you've done before. Like it's gross when it's grosser when the guy does it.
Yeah.
It's just like you're not. It's not none of what either of you is saying is remotely original.
Yeah, there's also something weird about like all the overt sex talk from both of the sexes, given that like this is kind of nerdy, but like every study, every statistical measure, our generation is having the least amount of sex as like any generation.
Yeah, people
prior.
talk about hookup culture so much, and I'm like, I don't think
It's
most
like,
people
who's
are
hooking
getting
up?
around.
Who are these people? Yeah,
Yeah, like I've been on all the apps. It's not just like a free for all.
Yeah, no.
It's
It's a bunch of really desperate dudes and really bored girls who are so jaded to the whole experience that it's like.
I feel like
it helps people who have like even just a smither of personality though.
How do you mean?
Like, cause it's just dudes on there being like, "Hi, can I see what's up? Can I see your tits,
show
please?
Bobs.
Please."
Show Bobs.
Yeah,
Show Bobs and Vagine.
Yeah,
what
dudes
you
just
doing?
turned into turned into Indian dudes on Messenger, dude.
Yeah.
Is all we've turned into.
No, I mean honestly, like lately, like most of my dating has come through dating apps, like the last couple of years. But like, it's still not like most of them are just you go on a couple dates and you see if it works and nothing happens.
It doesn't.
Like,
it
it's just
never
like,
does.
It's just life. Like like I don't think most people are. I find it funny when everybody's talking about how much sex they have because I'm like most of us we can't be.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Like, and I think it's because everybody does that, so people think they have to live up to the standard of like, and that's how you get guys who are just like, fuck bitches, get money, like let's treat these women like whores.
Yeah.
And then that's how you get girls who are like, men are trash. It's like it just both sides are doing it.
Yeah.
It's usually more destructive when a guy does it because we have a tendency to get violent.
It's one of my favorite Shane takes is that being really good at sex is gay.
Yeah, that's.
I love that so much. I had a roommate once who was like a perfectly nice guy, but he was clearly a sex guy. Like he had all like the shibari ropes and all this stuff, and he would talk about it in this way of like I know
50 Shades type guy.
And he had all these like philosophies about interacting with women and whatnot, and like at no part of me was, and like I respect a guy that gets pussy just in general, but like the more he talked about this, the more I was like, this is fucking gay, dude. Be bad at sex.
Yeah. I also find it weird, like when you have those friends who will just fuck anything just to do something.
Yeah.
I've never been able to do that.
I used to be, and I don't know what happened. It's like I grew out of it, and it's kind of a tragedy. It's like I look back on it the same way I look back on video games. Like I used to get so much more joy out of video games than I do now.
Yeah.
Now, if a fucking, to use Jersey Shore lingo, if like a grenade throws herself at me at a bar, there's no part of me. I'm literally just thinking like I would literally rather jerk off and go to bed.
Literally.
Than deal with this. And like I remember, and it's just I can feel younger me in like
Just
the
being
next
so
universe
disgusting.
over being like you asshole.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Like,
I'll like.
You're gonna have bad sex.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'll just talk to a girl on there at a bar because I'm bored and I want to have a conversation.
Sure,
and like
yeah.
if she's not that interesting, I'll like in the moment I'll be like, wow, I just met this girl, I'm excited. And then like the next day texting her, I'm like, wait a second, I was bored shitless by this conversation. I was just excited that somebody liked me.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to follow through. I just want the ego boost if she was into me. That's
such a great point. I've had that exact experience on like first dates. Because I think there's so much anxiety that goes into a first date
Yep.
that like as long as it's just going reasonably well, Like, as long as you don't hate this
Hate
person,
it.
then the
Yeah.
date ends, and you're like, oh man, maybe this is the one. And then
Yep.
you keep seeing them, and you're like, what
Oh,
the
what
fuck was
was
I
I
thinking?
thinking? Yeah.
It's like the whole 3-month rule thing, where it's like you'll get to the end of like 3 months of dating and you'll be like, I don't like this person that much at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, could I see myself marrying a woman who says "let's fucking go" unironically? Like, I don't think I could do it. I'm sorry, you're very nice, but like,
Marry a man that says that, maybe.
Yeah.
it's so weird when you date a girl who is a bro.
It's few people on earth I trust less
That's-
than a girl who's a bro who's like slamming beers and talking about Star Wars. It's like, what are you hiding?
Yeah.
What are you hiding?
Anyway, she's in a relationship with a friend of mine, and you know that's why you don't trust him.
Yeah.
I was like, I've just always got along with guys better. I'm like, you are gonna fuck my friends. That's 100% what's gonna happen.
Well, that's literally what that is. It's like girls are just like, I don't know, guys are just so much nicer to me. Well, they all want, every single one of them wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
You just happen to be with a group of guys who is nice enough to not be that overt about it, that it's creepy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But like, we all know why he's Snapchatting you.
Yeah. Why anybody is Snapchatting anybody ever.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
in your
exactly.
20s, dude. Why are you
Yeah.
on Snapchat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only thing Snapchat's used for.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember in high school when Snapchat first came out, and like it took me a minute to understand it because obviously I understand the concept of like sharing nudes, but the idea of like sharing, like exchanging somebody's Snapchat information with somebody, it's such a blatant like, I'm hoping that this turns into a nude exchange with you.
Yeah.
That
Right.
like I literally felt embarrassed for everybody in high school when it first came out. I was like, this is so embarrassing that we're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and like everybody can see your streaks and shit like that. Well,
Yeah.
that's even more embarrassing is when someone's platonically Snapchatting somebody, just hoping that she's gonna give in at some point.
yeah, it's like this nude scoreboard that we're
Dude,
all. It's like
yeah.
the Venmo public transaction history. It's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are we doing?
I got
Yeah.
no bitches in high school, so I was not sending any fucking dick pics through Snapchat and stuff. But I was like, I was blown away by just the fact that even happened. Well, granted, because like
That still blows me away.
I
The
would-
confidence of the insane confidence of a dude to just throw a dick pic into the ether,
Yeah.
knowing how much trouble that can bring back on you.
yeah, knowing
Like,
she's gonna screenshot and show all of her friends, even
Right.
if there's no backlash. Like that's out there. Like you're never texting a girl. You're texting all of her friends.
that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I'm always scared just on that level. But the thought of just like throwing an unsolicited dick pic to a girl, I'm gonna have to see her and her friends in school tomorrow. Like I couldn't.
It is funny, like just the disparity of like care that men and women pay to like these forms of communication. Like women have literal writing staffs on their text message threads, like getting
Oh, yeah.
approval on everything, writing drafts and shit. And
Yeah.
guys are just like, dick, like, out.
Texting sucks too, just because like the tone can never be interpreted over text.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times I've sent a text that was completely fine if you read it in the way I thought it, but then I see how she read it and she misinterpreted that entire. Like when you say like something ironically,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Why would you say that?" type
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and you're like, "No, that's why I said it."
Yeah,
That was the joke.
I have a misinterpretation over text on an almost daily basis, and I
Mm-hmm.
consider myself a pretty articulate person. So it's just a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah. It's hard to.
But it's so convenient. Like I find myself getting in like fully fledged conversations with people over text, and at a certain point being like, oh, this should have been a call the whole time.
Yeah.
But you just fall into this rhythm where
Yeah.
it's like kind of more convenient for both of you.
Yeah,
While becoming
I'm
socially
still big
retarded.
on like if I need to talk about anything more than just like quick text with a friend,
Yeah.
it's like I'll just call.
Dude,
I'll just call.
calls are so back, dude.
Yeah.
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 calls are back. Yeah, I get calls now from people without them warning me that they're about to call.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice.
Yeah, I like a random call from someone you like.
Yeah. Oh,
It's,
so-
it's a
yeah,
great
it's
feeling.
nice.
It's like, oh, you actually like. I have friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have a bad habit of like time slaving people with my calls. Like if I'm ever on like a long drive.
Oh, dude,
Like,
I'll do
yeah.
that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just trying to kill 2 hours. You want to talk?
Let's catch up with.
Yeah, I already listened to all my podcasts. Who can I bother right now?
That's literally what it is.
I haven't spoken to this person since college. Let's see what they're up to right now.
Yeah, I've got a 3-hour drive. I just had a 24-ounce Red Bull. I've got a Zin in, and I'm ready to tell people about what I think about the election.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Kennedy?
Kennedy rules, dude. Kennedy rules. Did you see that image he put out? He retweeted that image of Tim Dillon with that woman, with Anna Kachin from Red Scare.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Like, she's a beautiful angel, Tim. I see how she
Was
ungayed you.
Was she actually fucking Louis?
Anna Kachin?
There was a rumor about that a while ago.
I could see it.
Wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
I could see it.
That'd be gross. But good for him.
I mean, I really like that podcast. They're really smart. Her and Dasha Nekrasova.
No, it was Dasha who was allegedly fucking Louis.
I wouldn't be surprised in either case, because something I've gotten from them talking about their taste in men is it's very much like they're not looks. I mean, they're very aesthetically minded in certain respects, but like they find people like Louis hot. They find like Slavoj Žižek, you know, is like fat old slobs. Yeah. That are intellectually stimulating, like, so I could totally see that. Dasha Nekrasova is so fucking beautiful, dude. Like, when she first appeared on Succession, I literally paused the show to Google who it was. And I was like, oh, she has a podcast.
She's just another white man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Just what we needed. That's what I tell everybody whenever I tell them we're doing a podcast. Is like, because that's what the world needed is 2 more white dudes with a podcast.
Yep. That's literally how my sister said
demand,
it.
You know?
Yeah. That's what my sister said when I told her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to record first episode of the podcast. She's like, oh, two more white guys with a podcast, sick.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, dude.
Whatever.
This is a great one though. You guys should listen more. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We're like an hour and a half now. Geez.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again to Josh for coming out, man.
Thanks for having
Go
me.
to the
Glad come
point.
back.
Go to the point on Thursdays for comedy party shows.
Hell yeah, dude.
They are fun. I did a spot last week. It was great.
Yeah.
When will this come out? Monday? Oh, all right. Premiere's already over. Fuck.
Monday, yeah.
Yeah. Dot Tavern on Thursday. Blah, blah, blah.
All right.
That's it.
Bye, folks.
Goodbye.
What if I don't need it? There's something